What's going on, guys? TG or ThunderGod here, back with another pretty interesting video. Today I'll be outlining the growth and power of Kyuubi Mode Naruto, and I've wanted to do this video for a while now as there's a lot of misconceptions about this Naruto, along with the fact that he improves dramatically throughout the duration of the war, making it so that even if he's in the same form that he was earlier in the arc, he might be vastly stronger in comparison. Along with the fact that I find myself explaining this in multiple videos, so I thought I might as well just drop a dedicated video on this. So if you have anybody who also doesn't understand this, just send them this video. But without further ado, today I'll be outlining the growth of Naruto throughout the whole duration of the war. I'll be discussing the narratives behind this form and the progressions it has, how powerful it is, and all that good stuff. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new here, and let's get straight into the video. Naruto obtains the Kyuubi Chakra Mode, or Kyuubi Cloak, in chapter 499 of the Naruto manga, with him using it the form outside his mind on chapter 505. This form, the Kyuubi Chakra Mode, we're going to call it KCM 1 for the sake of simplicity. Now, before we actually look at like the Kyuubi form, let's kind of talk about the events leading up to it and like the lore surrounding it. Naruto believes the Nine Tails Chakra is what he needs in order to defeat Sasuke. This isn't just like objectively meaning, Naruto like is weaker than Sasuke at that point or anything like that. And although it can be, it is more so in reference to the fact that in order to confront Sasuke's hatred, he has to confront his own. And if Sasuke were to attack the village, he can't have another scenario like with Pain where the Nine Tails rampages about and whatnot, with Naruto going on to the Waterfall of Truth to overcome his own hatred towards the village and villagers, as he can't hope to take on the Kyuubi if he cannot take on his own hatred, the Kyuubi being hatred incarnate, as the series makes note. Now, after Naruto gets assistance from Kushina and eventually defeats the Nine Tails, pulling its chakra out, we see on panel that there's 6 tails of the Nine Tails chakra. Some people use this to say like this Kyuubi Naruto, at least with his unmastered power, should be a rival to the 6 tails that fought Pain. I think this is a fair enough interpretation, although it doesn't really lead to much, as Naruto would go on to control this power right after he gains it, which means he would grow stronger from just the raw power that amped him. But if you wanted a bit of perspective, you can kind of like gauge that against Pain and how Pain was struggling with 6 tails Naruto. Obviously, Pain was fatigued, but 6 tails Naruto was blowing him back with recoil alone, actually taking his cloak off and damaging him more than Sage Mode Naruto had even done. And we see off rip that Naruto's Kyuubi Cloak has an effect on wood release. This actually does come back later a few times, so keep this in mind, along with giving Naruto the ability to sense negative emotions or negative intentions. In this situation, Kisame, who had the exact same chakra signature as Samehada, had his hate or negative emotions sensed, an ability that belongs specifically to Mito Uzumaki. Naruto, after discovering this, proceeds to instantly rush down Kisame after he makes an attempt to flee, with body flicker, or teleportation as the series commonly refers to it as, being compared to the yellow flash, something commonly done with this stage of Naruto's power and moving forward. I will say that it's a little unfair to Kisame since he's chakra deprived at this point, which can be argued to somewhat impact his ability to react, and loss of chakra does at the very least slow down movement. A lot of people will bring up the scan of Sasuke saying to Deidara that he seems to have used up all your chakra, your reaction time is slow. This could be somewhat argued to be a mistranslation, as the kanji for reaction is actually not present and uses the kanji for movement. It's essentially the same thing though. If you can react to something but your body can't move, it really doesn't make a difference at that point, unless maybe you have a technique to throw up like the Susanoo to kind of negate that. In Kisame's case, it also doesn't really matter, as he also does like internally acknowledge Naruto's speed at this point, so it seems that it's fast even in relativity to Kisame's like own self-imposed full power. Regardless of all of that though, Naruto using body flicker like this is very impressive, just like when Minato was shown using it against opponents like the Obito and the Nine Tails. The reason these comparisons are made about body flicker is due to how few shinobi use it in a combat scenario throughout the series, opting to use it primarily for transportation. Body flicker being fundamentally a short-term speed burst, only really utilized consistently by fighters such as Naruto, the Raikage, Shisui, Minato. There's other practitioners, of course, like Tobirama and such. These are just the main practitioners who are known for it throughout the series, due to their exceptional mastery over it. We also see that Naruto lacks any control over his newfound strength, actually slamming his foot and getting it caught in the wall, with it being just so strong that grabbing basic rocks is difficult with Naruto, destroying them just from how powerful the Kyuubi's chakra is. So pretty much at this point, Naruto's objectively above most of the Akatsuki, save for the top 3 Pain, Itachi, and Obito being more so greater still. Most confidently for Obito, of course, with Naruto proceeding to fine-tune his Kyuubi chakra control while the 4th grade ninja war begins and proceeds. This being a common theme for his strength increase throughout the war, just gaining greater chakra control and mastery over a much larger amount of chakra than he's ever been exposed to before. We also see that Naruto is unable to do the Bijou Bomb, which was actually modeled after the Rasengan by Minato. Naruto is unable to undergo the Bijou transformation to perform this technique, and when trying it in his palm, the sheer weight of it requires him to use both hands to create the technique. This is consistent, as even Orochimaru notes that when Four-Tails Naruto swallows the Bijou Bomb, he's not going to be able to move after swallowing such dense chakra. So this chakra actually has so much weight to it, making it very hard for Naruto to use in a practical application. With him not even necessarily being able to match the positive black chakra and negative white chakra ratios, the technique requiring a white to black ratio of 2 to 8. So for the time being, this technique is far outside of Naruto's capabilities to actually use. It's also made clear that there was a fine limit to the chakra that was pulled from the Nine Tails, so Naruto's strength can only hit a certain point even with the training that he's doing. It's not him training his base strength to increase, it's him learning how to control a larger chakra volume than he's ever had access to, thus increasing his speed, strength, and jutsu potency. It's also discussed how making clones at this stage is detrimental to Naruto, as when he uses the Kyuubi's chakra, the Kyuubi is taking Naruto's chakra in return. And if clones are made, the Kyuubi would take proportional chakra from each clone, just basically speeding up the process of Naruto's own chakra supply getting pulled down to 0. Generally, this exchange would be negotiated between Bijou and partner. However, obviously the Nine Tails is not going to cooperate with Naruto at this time. After leaving the cave and discovering that the 4th Great Ninja War had started, Naruto and B would head off from the Tail Beast Temple, stopped by Iruka, another Leaf Ninja tasked with keeping him there. Naruto proceeds to then flex off Iruka's ceiling, Shadow Possession, and Aburame bugs swarming him instantly in his Kyuubi Chakra mode, kind of giving a semblance to the realm of power we're diving into here. Regular shinobi just aren't able to subdue Naruto at this point. He's grown too strong for any of that. Naruto and B would break through the barrier created to hold them, rushing toward the front. Interesting note is that KCM1 Naruto and B seem to be relative in their travel speed. They could also just be moving at a constant pace together, as even in Naruto's base, he can keep up with B. But I just think it's interesting to note that Naruto will like go on to turn on his KCM1 form and turn it off, and like B will still be able to keep pace, even when B can like take a break. So maybe it's more of a feat for B, but yeah, just kind of interesting to note. Eventually, the duo is met with the Raikage and Tsunade. In this encounter, Naruto is stonewalled by the Raikage along with B. Naruto blatantly unable to pass the Lightning Bruiser in terms of speed. The fight progresses with the duo explaining their source of power, a power that has nothing to do with being a Jinchuriki. For B, that is his brother, and for Naruto, that is his 2 sons, his Pa and Ma. With Naruto ending the encounter, dodging the Raikage's fastest punch, more so implied to be via body flicker, via Tsunade's assessment of how the feat was performed just like the Yellow Flash, similarly to how B made the same remark earlier with the same feat against Kisame. Some people misconstrued this since the Raikage notes that Naruto is the only one to have outran his fastest punch, but fundamentally, again, body flicker is just short burst speed boost, so this still fits within the confines of the conversation. All this would mean is that at this point, with body flicker, Naruto can outmatch the Raikage in speed. Otherwise, he seems to be more of a rival to lower versions of his cloak. It's also possible Naruto improved beyond the Raikage at this point, but it's just very safe to say they're relative at this point, with the Raikage databook even noting how the Raikage could overtake Naruto, boasting godlike speed, not inferior to the Yellow Flash. What version of Minato this is referencing is up for debate, as it could be Jonin or Hokage. Doesn't really matter, as Naruto still hasn't surpassed Minato by this point yet regardless. There's also the idea that Naruto and B were able to overcome the Raikage via a mental amp of sorts. I think there is a case for this for both parties. I think in B's position, it's a lot stronger, especially since the weekly statement of the chapter discusses how his brother's words give him the strength to surpass him, kind of implying that B was finally able to overcome his brother due to this conversation, as Raikage A had been storing B around and almost treating him like a weapon of sorts, when in reality they were brothers, and that's where B's strength really came from. So there's that. Same applies to Naruto. Thinking back to how he can't fail everybody. These are arguments, of course, agree whether you want to or not. I'm just opening up the interpretation for you. But regardless, the two do eventually get past Tsunade and the Raikage. And after the events where Naruto is physically tested by the Raikage, he is mentally tested by the Nine Tails, where Nine Tails pokes fun at the idea that despite Naruto overcoming his own hatred, new hatred will arise via his comrades falling, or even if he wins the war, he'll take on the enemy's hatred and bear it moving forward. And after showing confidence in the Ninetales snide remarks and attempting to chink Naruto's armor by bringing up Sasuke's hatred and his failures and taking that on, Naruto remarks he's coming after the Ninetales hatred someday as well. This being a conversation that will resonate with the Ninetales for quite some time during the war. We'll come back to it a bit later, but this is a very key conversation. We see Naruto encounter a group or platoon of shinobi moving forward, and it's revealed that he's able to sense they are white Zetsu. And along with this, Naruto and his Kyuubi Chakra mode, or KCM1, it's just a plethora of new Rasengan / Rasen Shuriken variants, along with Naruto going on to create 12 clones who disperse out to each front to help shinobi at the front lines. Now, if you've been paying attention, it was previously established that making clones when Naruto is using the Kyuubi Chakra would speed up the rate in which the Ninetales would steal his own chakra, which is true. And Naruto does have a substantial chakra supply even in his base form. You can maybe say like Kishimoto forgot in this regard, or that, you know, Naruto just adapted to this form, but I also want to open up the interpretation that the Ninetales, despite having the ability to steal Naruto's own chakra, after having this conversation with Naruto that he thinks back to a lot during this war, kind of sits back and is resigning himself to kind of see how Naruto confronts the war itself, as the words spoken to him have never been spoken to him by another human being. This being consistent, as we see even later on, the Ninetales will eventually even assist some of these clones and lend them more chakra. So we'll kind of keep that in mind moving forward, but Naruto does perform this feat. It is then that he encounters Itachi and Nagato with the weekly statement describing the group as 4 top-tier shinobi, kind of giving idea that these 4 in their current state are somewhat relative or on a similar tier. Naruto fights against the strongest of the Edo Tensei, Itachi and Nagato, where Itachi is freed from the Edo Tensei and with their combined might would go on to defeat Nagato. Nagato, who is very comfortably taking on B and Naruto's might combined. It's here that Itachi continues to display his wisdom, reminding Naruto he can't end this war all by himself and that relying on others will aid him in his path to becoming Hokage, a common theme that we will see moving forward. We cut to Gaara's company where Naruto's shadow clone arrives, instantly taking down the second Tsuchikage, Lord Mu, who is renowned for his superb enhanced sensory abilities, allowing him to kind of avoid attacks that the other Edo Kage were unable to, along with avoiding Naruto from a blind spot. Naruto is assisted by Gaara in taking down Lord Mu. So it's not entirely fair to say like this Naruto's blatantly superior, but he does seem to be relative, just getting a little jump pad. It allowed him to kind of like blitz and just tag Lord Mu with the rotating Rasengan. Naruto then proceeds to engage the third Raikage, an absolute animal even amongst the Raikage, with the chapter statement being Naruto versus the strongest past Raikage, which supplements that what we already suspected with the third being stronger than the first 2 Raikage. Naruto would engage and even get the edge initially, tagging the Raikage with the Rasen Shuriken, in which case we see that this is an opponent the Rasen Shuriken will not be able to defeat. The chapter statement even being titled the Rasen Shuriken's Limit. Now, while this doesn't one-shot the Raikage, it does obliterate his lightning cloak, so it basically is just strong enough to destroy his defense and not the individual underneath. This clone that attempts the Bijou Bomb, failing to the point his chakra cloak dissipates, also kind of giving confirmation that the Bijou Dama is superior to Naruto's ace move or previous ace move, the Rasen Shuriken. Naruto's clone receives a bit of intel from Killer B in the Eight Tails, and using Sage Mode threat perception to reflect his arm back into himself, he one-shots the third Raikage. He basically used the Raikage's own Hell Stab against him with Sage Mode's innate ability to kind of reflect jutsu or physical strikes back at the user with force equal to or greater. With the Hell Stab being very similar to Chidori or Raikiri, and that has some absurd attack potency or how potent it is, with the technique being superior to the third's defense. Regardless, a very good feat for Naruto considering shadow clones are weaker than the original, with this clone going on to perform very well against the Edo Kage of this company. After some exposition with Naruto, Madara is revived as an Edo Tensei. We actually see the Ninetales begin to show some signs of cooperation with Naruto, actually lending a shadow clone of Naruto chakra against Madara. The Ninetales blatantly stating that he would prefer to be with Naruto rather than be subdued under Madara. When at this point, you know, he could have easily sapped the original Naruto's chakra and just made the shadow clone poof, but instead he offers him more power. After the 5 Kage arrive, the shadow clone dissipates, and we cut back to Naruto and B against Tobi and the Edo Jinchuriki, where they are quickly overwhelmed by the Edo Jinchuriki. Even when B fully transforms into the Eight Tails, Naruto finds himself caught in their jutsu, especially when they level up to version 2, and he's about to be defeated until Kakashi and Guy arrive, intercepting and saving Naruto. But then see Naruto go on to save Son Goku, the Four Tails, by destroying the rods Toby is using to control the Jinchuriki and Tail Beast, which causes the Nine Tails to have even more introspection regarding Naruto and how different he is from every human or Jinchuriki he's encountered or been binded by, remarking that humans never change despite what words or excuses they say. The Nine Tails also notes how only actions will really be the only way to transmute feelings towards the Tailed Beast, this being a very clear example. Toby then proceeds to transform the other Jinchuriki into their complete Tail Beast state. Naruto, who had exhausted every facet of chakra with the group, facing annihilations as 5 Tail Beast bombs are being readied at point blank range. It's here Naruto and Nine Tails have a little heart-to-heart where Naruto thanks the Nine Tails and the Nine Tails offers Naruto some chakra. It's here Naruto acknowledges the Nine Tails, understanding and thinking to how they were both ridiculed for the exact same reason and how far Naruto has come to, and what that means for the Nine Tails and who the Nine Tails really is as Naruto undoes his seal. He's no longer a demon fox, he's a partner and citizen of Konoha. It's on chapter 571 that we are introduced to Bijou Mode, or KCM2 as we'll call it moving forward. Bijou Mode being what Naruto is using as the Kurama avatar, and KCM2 being the actual form of Naruto with the long cloak. Naruto proceeds to fully link with Kurama for the first time and slap away 5 Tail Beast Bombs. And what's interesting is that he does this feat without the full avatar. He's just shown using the Nine Tails chakra, which is an absurd feat of itself. The Nine Tails chakra does offer a bit of defense. For example, right, Naruto's Kyuubi clone was able to just block swords with his arms. So the cloaks are durable, but the KCM2 cloak is another level on top of this. Naruto would go on to demolish the remaining 5 Tail Beasts in a kaiju-like slugfest, pushing them to pool their chakra together for a massive Tail Beast Bomb, which Naruto, in this state, matches completely. While this is going on, Naruto is able to create a clone that enters Sage Mode, and then proceeds to create 5 clones with all KCM1 cloaks on, able to pull out the Tail Beast rods, freeing the Tail Beast. At least from being manipulated by Obito, they still aren't free from the Ghetto statue. It's talked about in the data book that thanks to the narrowing of the bond between Naruto and the Nine Tails, he was able to master the ability of the Bijou Bomb. Naruto then encounters the remaining Tail Beasts and their Jinchurikis, where they share their names and some of their chakra like Sun had done before. Side note as well is that Naruto can only maintain the Kurama avatar for about 5 minutes, which honestly speaking, most people aren't going to last that long regardless. This Naruto also being so potent that Toby has no choice but to go at Naruto with the intent to kill it. Even then, it's just pure domination on Naruto's part. This feat of defeating the Tail Beast and the expression of pure confidence on Naruto's face causes Toby to mistake rain for sweat, along with indirectly giving Naruto praise with how Naruto was just supposed to be a pawn to fight Sasuke, with Toby remarking it doesn't really matter who or what Naruto is now. And you just have to be a different level of strong to have that type of statement made about you. Bro's being talked about like he's a concept. It's crazy. Naruto is also able to affect the chakra water bubble at HQ with his unbelievable power. We cut away from the fight for a bit until Kabuto is forced to undo the Edo Tensei, where it is shown that Naruto had been fighting Toby in the Ghetto statue for a period of time until Toby initiates the infinite Tsukuyomi by feeding the Ghetto statue Ginkaku and Kinkaku, along with B's tail, essentially putting Naruto and Ko on a timer until the Ten Tails is revived. After Kurama explains the threat of the Ten Tails and how severe it is, Naruto jumps back into his KCM1 form. And is stronger than ever, no longer having to worry about, having a finite limit of the Nine Tails chakra or worry about the Nine Tails stealing his base chakra. Naruto performs a lot better against Toby, even performing the Mini Tail Beast Bomb, a feat previously impossible for him. And this isn't insignificant, as even the sheer weight of the technique had previously been too much of him. And here he's just swinging it around on his chakra arm. Naruto also replicates this feat a few chapters later with one arm in his KCM2 form. A small but blatant showing of his growth. Naruto and Ko battle against Toby, where they're unable to really gain any momentum against him or against the Ghetto statue, with Naruto even remarking that Toby's just too strong. This is all until it's revealed that Toby and Kakashi's dojutsu are linked, with Toby eating a Rasengan to his arm as a subsequent result of Kakashi deducing as such off of a kunai scratching Toby's mask. After some smack is talked about where Toby got his eye that allowed him to use this ability, Kurama takes the reins and speaks directly to Toby, who remarks that Naruto had completely mastered his power, the same power that was sealed in Naruto for the purpose of taking Toby down. Naruto then proceeds to enter KCM 2 against Toby, showing the ability to use the Kurama avatar, even partially with just his cloak on. He also is able to make shadow clones at this point with the same advanced cloak on, with his respective clones even stacking jutsu while he performs his strongest technique at this point, the tail beast bomb. After escaping into the Kamui dimension, it's revealed Naruto's clone was sent there as well by Kakashi, revealing Toby to be Obito. Obito, after being revealed, starts throwing some unequivocal shade at Kakashi and sends the Uchiha Bomb Blast Dance Fire Style technique at Naruto, which was deflected by the Nine Tails tails. This same technique shown to be on par with Madara's Majestic Destroyer Flame that required multiple water style shinobi to counteract. Very potent for reference. We then see Madara arrive at the front, the chapter statement remarking Obito and Madara as the two greatest evils, implying we are dealing with the top two strongest villains in this series at this point. After being angered by Madara just swagging around and being Madara, Naruto attempts to rush him down with the midi tail beast bomb, only to be hit by the Uchiha reflection. At this point, we do have some pretty established limits for Naruto, as displayed with Madara somewhat ragdolling KCM2 Naruto, B, and Guy, as shown by their extensive damage. Even Naruto's Kyuubi avatar gets quickly dismantled by Madara using Hashirama's Wood Dragon, absorbing the Kyuubi chakra and forcing Naruto out of it. This same wooden dragon was unable to subdue the complete Nine Tails in Hashirama's fight with Madara, to kind of give us some perspective, along with the fact that Madara's perfect Susanoo and Hashirama's wooden human technique are rivals, with the wood human technique said to be on par with the full Nine Tails. So Naruto just isn't at Madara's perfect Susanoo level quite yet. Naruto gets irked at every word coming out the duo's mouth and is able to intercept Madara and Obito's attacks from across the battlefield, segueing into attacks being shot at both of them. Naruto remarking how he'll never let his comrades die, waking Kashi up from the daze he was in after the reveal of Toby being Obito. Naruto then, after getting held down by Obito, smashes his head with a headbutt, causing Obito to recoil and for some blood to even emerge. A smaller feat, but telling of his growth, considering he could not even break Obito's mass at the start of their engagement. Kurama tosses Kakashi into Obito's Kamui path, giving him chakra, a skill Naruto will hone going forward. After launching a tail beast bomb with the 8 tails, we see that the 10 tails has emerged fully. Naruto and Co. getting absolutely obliterated by the 10 tails with its immeasurable power, even making the 9 tails look small by comparison. Naruto and Kurama also have the ability to heal fighters inside the Kurama avatar, which is an interesting side note, along with Naruto showing the ability to maintain the Kurama avatar for longer, 5 minutes, that has now been extended into 8 minutes. Regardless of all of this though, Naruto and Co. run out of steam against the 10 tails, about to be destroyed until the Shinobi Alliance arrives. Shinobi Alliance takes on the 10 tails, incorporating strategies utilizing all 5 great nations, which fails spectacularly to restrain the 10 tails in hopes of taking down Obito and Madara. Obito unleashes the wood-style cutting sprigs technique to cut down the Shinobi Alliance as easily as the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line Troy Bill Mustang 44-inch 24 HP V-twin Kohler 7000 series engine dual hydrotastic drive gas zero-turning riding lawn mower. In short, the Shinobi Alliance gets absolutely obliterated by this technique, and in this bloodfest, Neji is hit in an effort to protect Hinata, who is protecting Naruto. In this happening, Obito calls Naruto out on his earlier statement that he wouldn't let his comrades die, a nod back to Naruto's hypocrisy getting spit right back into his face. Naruto is snapped out of this daze by Hinata and Kurama, who remind him that his life is linked to his comrades' sacrifices, and that only when he discards the words or feelings he has is when his comrades will really be dead. Naruto, revitalized, enters KCM 2 again. We then have what we're going to call Mastered KCM 2. And the reason I say Mastered is because Naruto is able to transmute chakra on a whole nother level compared to earlier. I'll talk about this a bit more in a second. But instead of simply using the Nine Tails chakra, Naruto's gotten so skilled at using it with such chakra control that he can actually transfer it to other people. So on top of the fact that there should be a strength increase on some level fundamentally due to him having increased chakra control, which he can pour into his general stats, he's literally just better at manipulating the chakra, along with him having a longer duration for his Kurama avatar. So yeah, this is pretty definitive. Naruto would go on to share Kurama's chakra with the Shinobi Alliance. The chakra cloaks given offering a 3 times potency in the jutsu used by the user. Kakashi gives an example of this with his Kamui, but if you want to see it blatantly, Hinata air palms a 10 tails tail away, so it's pretty blatant. We then get a lot of affirmation on what's already been suspected by Kurama with this whole feat of Naruto mastering the Nine Tails chakra. to this degree being what the 4th Hokage Minato had always wanted and had intended, which we knew as this power was supposed to be used to stop Obito. However, the feat of skillfully sensing and transmuting the Nine-Tails chakra to be compatible with other shinobi and then hand it over to them, just like with how Kushina and Minato had linked their chakra to Naruto for it to appear at a different time, with Naruto being said to have being able to do this on a completely different scale, with Kurama noting that he's already surpassed both of them a while ago now. As to say that Minato and Kushina pale in comparison to Naruto at this point. Naruto and the Shinobi Alliance eventually forcing Madara and Obito off the Ten Tails. Naruto performing these feats is so crazy that even Sasuke, Suigetsu, and Jugo, despite none of them being censored shinobi, can feel all this chakra a massive distance away. It should be pretty clear at this point that this is when Naruto definitively passes Minato. If you want to like kind of argue earlier, you could just say when he goes into KCM 2 or Bijou mode. That's also when he definitively passes him, kind of performing a feat and kind of like making Kakashi see Minato on Naruto's back. So it's pretty objective at this point, especially via Kurama, who's like fought Minato and Kushina and sees them as his arch enemies. Remarks as such. So yeah, pretty objective at this point that Naruto would be above that tier of fighter. After Sasuke has his conversation with the previous Hokage who have been reanimated, we see that Naruto's using the Kyuubi chakra to defend the Shinobi Alliance from Obito, Madara, and the Ten Tails onslaught. The Ten Tails then releasing the Tenpachi or Cataclysm, which Naruto again is able to protect everybody from and just blatantly tank in his Kyuubi cloak. The reason I say tank is that Naruto doesn't really defend himself. He more so like has to focus his chakra to defend everybody else. Naruto's strength is rising so high at this point, in fact, that Ten Tails becomes enraged, getting reminded of the Sage of Six Paths after sensing all the other Bijou inside of Naruto. The same Ten Tails that Kurama remarks doesn't have emotions or that kind of feeling inside of him. After Sasuke and Ko arrive to the battlefield, Naruto enters what some people might call Mastered Kyuubi Chakra Mode or KCM 1.5 or Mastered KCM, however you want to say that. This version of KCM 1 following Mastered KCM 2. The reason we can consider this form stronger is on top of, it being the following variation on top of Naruto mastering the Nine-Tails chakra even further. He also does display some better feats, whether that be in relativity to EMS Sasuke, or if you want to look at like a bit more of a blatant example, he's able to dodge blitz attempts from Obito even while a bit fatigued from protecting the Shinobi Alliance. Whereas prior in KCM 2, he was still able to kind of get tagged in close quarters. This same Naruto just completely getting obliterated by Obito, even during his like growths in power with the Nine-Tails chakra. So this version of Naruto is definitively stronger, along with him going on to display new abilities and such. Naruto Mastered KCM should be above the KCM 1 and KCM 2 initial links, but should not still be stronger than KCM 2 Mastered, if that makes sense. I will also be putting a display up towards the end of the video with like all the like imaged out and stuff like that. So if maybe you're not following or you don't like recognize the forms, that will be at the end of the video. This really is just KCM 1, but when Naruto's like outfit is mixed up. But this version of KCM 1, and the reason people call it KCM 1.5 is due to how this version had surpassed Naruto's like Bijou mode or KCM 2 from earlier. So essentially it's the same form, but due to his outfit getting torn up, it's stronger, so people just use that as somewhat of a middle ground. This Naruto is shown to be on par with EMS Sasuke, who is relative or even greater to Itachi at this point in this series. Naruto can perform the Super Odama Rasen Shuriken to match Sasuke's End Tone Arrow. And after some progression, Obito then becomes the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, who makes quick work of the Hokage, even while unstable, with each of them taking turns to try and deduce his abilities. This being most apparent, however, when he gains control over the Ten Tails, in which it requires high-level coordinated attacks in conjunction with Flying Raijin, all to have no effect on Obito. With even Obito's own attacks having no effect on him either, or him being able to react to them blatantly, it's revealed that Senjutsu is effective against Obito. However, again, this doesn't just mean Senjutsu will allow you to beat Obito. The attack still has to be potent. Obito then creates a barrier in an attempt to nuke the Shinobi Alliance. Naruto and Minato then devise a plan using his Flying Raijin and the Nine-Tails Chakra to teleport everybody outside the barrier, with Naruto reigniting everybody's cloak stronger and bigger than before. Again, kind of a testament to Naruto himself growing stronger. His Kyuubi cloak also grows stronger. We then see due to this feat, Hashirama states he's got almost as chakra as Naruto does, which I see some people say implies relativity. I personally don't believe so, as Naruto is getting better at controlling such large portions of chakra, so his chakra control is actually still improving, whereas we know nothing about how Hashirama allocates his chakra, so I personally don't take chakra quantity as an objective source to discuss when two fighters are relative. It can be, but we've also seen examples of this not being the case with Hashirama and Madara, or Naruto and Sasuke, both duos having absurd chakra supplies, but with the Asura reincarnates being remarked to have absurd amounts even compared to their counterparts. If you do want to imply relativity, that would just mean that this Naruto would be on par with like base Edo Hashirama. However, I personally don't think this statement is enough to kind of make those claims. Naruto notes how he has an absurd amount of power welling in him, causing Sasuke to question just how much chakra Naruto has. Naruto then proceeding to stack Sage Mode on top of his KCM 2 form, making it KCM 2 Sage Mode. It's also noted Naruto can gather nature energy much faster when incorporating it with Kyuubi chakra. The amp Naruto gains from Sage Mode at this point should also be greater, considering his base chakra has essentially merged with Kurama's at this point, making it so he'd have a greater base chakra pool to combine with nature energy to create a stronger Sage Mode. Naruto alongside Minato and KCM proceed to take on Obito, which causes Sasuke to have an inferiority complex, noting Naruto uses, in his own assessment, perfect control over such large amounts of chakra. Obito then removes the 10-tails/God tree from himself, which can be considered a nerf on his part, as Madara did gain an amp from absorbing the same God tree. And after absorbing chakra from Naruto and the Shinobi Alliance once again, Obito tests Naruto's will after seeing his comrades fall one after another. It is actually Sasuke who snaps him out of this, with Naruto and Sasuke taking on Obito following the fact. This duo takes on Obito, actually improving and acclimating to Obito's movements as the fight goes on. Testament out Naruto is still growing just by continuously using this power. He's still weaker than Obito pretty objectively, as Obito grabs Naruto and Sasuke and proceeds to slam them out of their avatars, forcing them to combine their powers and take on the Sword of Nonoboku. It's that Obito's will is weakened, as it's revealed deep in his heart he does have regrets. Naruto and the Shinobi Alliance proceed to pull the remaining tail beast out of Obito, defeating the 10-tails Jinchuriki. After this point forward, there isn't really too much more to say in Naruto's case, as the only time he really enters his KCM 2 avatar and just tags Madara. Madara is not aware he's coming after him. So it's really hard to like kind of scale that version of Naruto, especially since he doesn't stack Sage Mode or anything on top of his avatar. Maybe you could say he's stronger. I just don't think there's enough substance there to per se like say like there's this drastic improvement. I'm putting an outline on screen for kind of the progression of Naruto that I was kind of going with in this video. But that's the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see a similar type of video with EMS Sasuke or Sasuke's with his Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, I think that would be good too, as I think there's a lot of similar story beats with that Sasuke and some progression with him as well that not a lot of people bring up, or I feel like I say in videos that I don't want to repeat. So let me know if you guys want to see that in the description down below. Let me know if you agree, disagree, why. Enjoyed the video. With that being said, I'm going to talk to you later. Bye-bye.